アガードのブラッディヘラクレスでブラスターブレード攻撃。
What is that thing?
まだまだヴァンガードのヘラクレスでブラスターブレード攻撃。
I'm coming, Patrick!
Monster.
ファーのブーストでカルマクイーンをパワーアップ。ブラスターブレード攻撃。
Squidward?
Mr. Krabs?
Ah! It ate them! And there it goes!
Hey yo, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. Today is going to be 2 weeks worth of big news in one, since there wasn't much going on last week, and thus there is a lot to cover, so let's get started right now. Starting with the JP news, the result of the showdown event is up, and the winner is Team Black, as we've seen last video. All players will receive the Black Diva title, and all players in Team Black and Team Black only will get the 3 extra gacha packs. So what does this mean? Maybe global players should collaborate and just pick one side and everyone can jump on that ship, since it is basically just majority rules in that sense. Next up, the Vanguard Zero Grand Finals 2020. Did you have a chance to check out the amazing fights? Be sure to go check out the official YouTube page and different fights commentary. I find both really entertaining and definitely really insightful. So some things you really just have to see for yourself, and you know, as you can see, there's quite a few clans represented, a lot of Gold Paladin, a lot of Kagero, quite a few Pale Moons, and Link Joker, a few here and there, OTT as well, Bermuda, surprisingly with Shira, and lots of great representation. It really shows that there isn't really one best deck, and the 3-deck format really brings out the variety and diversity in deck building and team composition. The top 3, we have Alan, Lukita, and Shira. So apologies if I butchered these names. Shira is Shira, and I tossed the rest into a Romanji translator, so that's that. With Alan first place, bringing Gold Paladin, Kagero, and Pale Moon. Gold Paladin's just really solid with Liberators. It is basically Revengers 2.0, multi-attacking with Zenith, you know, a returning heal trigger, retires with Blaster Blade, unflipping now, Escrad early game aggro. It's just really solid, and you can still tech that one Easel Scissors to counter locks. So that's really nice. Kagero with the Dauntless buff, it's just all around great. It's consistent, it's strong. If you want to see my build, if you're a global player right now, go check that out. It is actually quite similar, just a few changes here and there with more on flippers on Alan's list, and you're good to go. And with Pale Moon Silverthorn, I'm actually kind of surprised, but you know, we've seen how strong Miracle Pop Ava can help you extend your plays at the late game. You have more support with Silverthorn now. You have a Silverthorn specific purple trapezes to help you actually combo. More stance is actually really important in Pale Moon, because it helps you hit those numbers when you're trying to attack by themselves, or make columns to actually reach those higher targets. So it's really great. And you know, Venus Lucaria might not be significant by herself, but this overall support and synergies of Silverthorn definitely did go up, and makes it a very fearsome deck with a lot of filtering for triggers, so you will hit into them very consistently in the late game. So it's really strong, and definitely can't wait to see how Pale Moon gets represented in the global championships in the future. Next up, we have Lukita. So Lukita also brought Gold Paladin, also brought Kagero, but brought Revengers instead. So Revenger is still a really solid deck, and it is pretty standard. You know, your car, you're in a main, you're a trumpeter. Maybe these 3 slots you can switch around, but generally speaking, the rest of the core is the same. Gold Paladin, same thing, except Lukita is playing the Grade 3 Searcher, so you can more consistently get into your Zenith, which can exchange itself into Blaster Blade Liberator, or maybe better chances to search for your Easel Scissors in case you get the Link Joker matchup. So I can see why Lukita did that. And on the Kagero end, it is virtually the same list as Ellen, except one more DDD and one less Overlord. So overall, because you have the Nouveau Roman, the grade 1 Nouveau support, and you can always tech which grade 3 you want, generally speaking, it's not that important, but it's important to recognize that, you know, the lineup of Overlord, the End, Dauntless, and Nouveau is definitely, you gotta stick with these 4 units. The composition you can mix around with, but overall this is kind of the idea. And lastly, Shira. Shira brings the spice. We have Pale Moon, which we saw. We have Kagero, which we saw from both the top 2 players. But we also have Bermuda, which is super surprising, especially since it isn't a pure duel deck. It isn't a pure duel deck. It's a Pacifica build with a lot of different stuff splashed into it. You still have your Pearl Sisters for your draw engine. I just love this build. I think it's pretty crazy. Of course, I don't have much experience with Bermuda. Only have experience with Coral primarily, and of course I'm not a JP player, but this is pretty nuts. And you will know that none of the players actually banned this Bermuda deck, and it performed really well. So, you know, what can I say? Shira is a madman, and just really amazing. Really amazing. Shira's Kagero build brings Cruel Dragon instead of that 4th Overlord or 2nd Dauntless drive, which is also something that I like to play around with, because, well, sometimes you want to accelerate the game. You go striking it into Cruel, into Nouveau, and you just go really aggressively and push. And to supplement the Cruel Dragon plays, you know, you play less Gojos and you play more Curses, Steel Dragon Curses. So they both filter, but one doesn't rest itself when filtering. So that means that on your cruel plays, or when you're playing more aggressively and pushing for game faster, you know, having that extra 7k boost could change the game. So that there's that, and also leading towards the full 4 Bellicosities instead of the 3 Bellicosity and 2 Berserks. So just being more mindful with Counterblast overall. And a Pale Moon, here we're seeing less of the Break Ride and more of the Lukie, so more Silverthorn synergies focused on that. And putting the heal on the OG Lukie. I still think that OG Lukie is really strong. But overall, you know, roughly speaking, one is more focused on the Brick Ride approach, and one is more consistent and focused on the Silverthorn shenanigans play. So overall, really interesting list. You can see how even if it's the same clan, even if it's the same build, same archetype, there are different ways to build the deck, and this is just so important. I hope that I always emphasize this, but I hope that people really critically think about your build. Just because you're building Revengers doesn't mean you're playing it to your own, to the most effective way to optimize it to your own playstyle. And you know, just because it's tier 1 doesn't mean it's the best deck, because maybe you're a good player, but it just doesn't synergize well with your play. So overall, that's just really important to recognize. And let's move forward to the biggest updates since a long time ago. We have a lot of stuff to cover. First of all, on the 23rd, there's a fight skin update. Then on the 24th to the 10th, there's an Overdress commemoration gacha week. For the 1st of April, we have gems now recover 100 stamina instead of 75, which is something that a lot of people asked for. And the 12th, we have guaranteed character fight drop campaign. So this is the pretty usual one. But let's start with the first one. Character skins. After the 23rd of March, all skins will get a reprint, and the list is really long. But one thing to note is that, you know, the cost is 100 V-metals. So some of them used to only cost 50, so now they're more expensive at 100 V-metals. For example, the Kamui Asia Circuit or the Misaki Asia Circuit stuff. But some of them, like Miwa, used to cost 200. Same as Psycholia Aichi used to cost 200, but now they cost 100 as well. So now it's all unified, it's all consistent. One of the differences, one of the reasons why, you know, Miwa got a discount is because the Asia Circuit Miwa that used to come for free if you had the original Miwa now costs 100 separately. So this is something to note. If you bought it earlier, maybe you get more value, more bang for your buck, because you get more skins for the 200 V-metals. So for example, if you got the Korean one, but now you have to buy them separately if you missed out. But some of them, like the Aichi Psycholia, is just like a half off. So I know a lot of people commented and asked me, when can I get a Psycholia Aichi? Well, this is your chance to pick it up. So really exciting. And what that means is, if you're a global player, if you want to pick up those 50 V-metal skins now rather than later, because they will be basically double the price. Well, go for it now rather than later, and you can save up your you can use your V medals for discounted premium skins from all the way back instead. For the Overdress commemoration gacha week, you can spend 1,000 gems for 10 pulls to get 10 D medals along with 10 Vanguard medals, so the normal V medals. Now here's the list of rewards you can exchange. You can exchange for fight skins, 100 each, titles for 20 each, character emblems for 20 each, generic emblems and corresponding sleeves for 20 and 20 each, and 5 gacha tickets, 5 of that coupons, so half a pack for 10 each. So I mean, overall, even if you just want to open this gacha, even if you're not interested in Overdress, you can still basically get like half a pack for every 10 packs you roll, which is still nice. And if you are, looking forward to Overdress and you like the characters, because these skins you can use for nations, right? You can definitely go do that as well. So the first character is used for Dragon Nation, Dragon Empire, Dragon Nation, and the second one's for Stoicheia. So really exciting. And looking forward to Overdress, definitely. Next, we have Season 31, Night Soaring Across the Azure Skies, starting from the 16th to the 31st. So this is obviously going to be Liberator of Bonds, Ganslot Zenith, which is a really key card for golds. Whether you're playing Liberators or not, I think this is definitely a really splashable unit, helping you generate 4th attack and returning trigger. In addition, you have Ultimate Dimension Robo Great Dai Kaiser and Super Dimension Robo Dai Kaiser as the sleeves. I have to say that Entropy definitely called that Zenith will be the rank reward in the future. There's a trend where every single time there's a championship, they have playmats, and every single time there are playmats, there's these new arts. For example, Blaster Blade Liberator, Blaster Dark Revenger, and these arts 100% so far has become rank rewards. So what does that mean? Maybe you can consider looking into the previous tournament playmat arts, and maybe these arts will be reused. Bushiroad Game Studio likes to reuse their assets. They paid someone to draw it anyways. They want to use it, and so just consider that food for thought, and maybe that can help you consider whether or not to invest in certain clans or save up your mats to craft something else instead. Next, we have Sometimes for Bugs. So the Megacolony event Wave 2 begins on the 17th and lasts until the 27th. Let's go over some cards. Machining Spark Hercules, triple rare, grade 3, 11k. Vanguard Circle, limit rate 4 once per turn if all of your opponent's units are rest. Counterblast 2 to paralyze one of your opponent's rearguards, and this gets plus 10 plus 1 crit. Vanguard Circle once per turn, Soul Blast 1 to rest all of your opponent's rearguards, and this unit gets power plus 2 until end of turn. Call a Machining from your soul as rest. In addition, Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle, this unit can ignore intercept of paralyzed rearguards when attacking. So overall, like being able to ignore intercept is really strong. And even if you choose to counterplay it and leave a back row standing, well, you can always Soul Blast 1 to +1 by calling something out, and then you can paralyze, you can rest everything in order to actually proc the paralyzed condition as well. So overall, really strong card. Crit pressure is always nice. It's always a good option. And yeah, really offensive. We have Machining Warsicle. So this is limit break 4 Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 2 to paralyze your opponent's Vanguard. At the start of your opponent's ride phase, if your opponent does not, your opponent may discard a card. If they did not discard, they cannot normal ride during that ride phase. So you're basically stunning your opponent. It's the pre-delete kind of mechanic, and it's really scary because it basically makes your opponent have to discard a card in their hand. It's hand destruction, and it's always nice. In a meta where it's mostly about break riding, this is really strong. Vanguard Circle on place, counterblast 1 to call 2 Machining from your soul as rest. So it's just a really good way to plus. And Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle, this unit can ignore intercept of paralyzed rearguards when attacking. So again, ignore intercepts, really offensive. We have Unrivaled Blade Rogue, Cyclo Matooth. So this is the break ride. Limit break 4, rode upon, paralyze all of your opponent's units, including the Vanguard. At the start of your opponent's next ride phase, your opponent may discard a card from your hand. If they did not discard, they cannot normal ride. So again, similar to Warsicle here, you're paralyzing the Vanguard and forcing your opponent to discard in order to actually ride and get Twin Drive for that turn. Vanguard Circle, if all of your opponent's units are rest, it gets +3, which is easily fulfilled condition. Next, we have Machining Little B, the new starter, grade 0, 5k. Rearguard Circle, put this into your soul to stand one of your other rest Machining rearguards and draw a card. That unit gets +3 until end of turn. So recognize that a lot of the units that you call out from, Spark Hercules or Warsicle are in rest. So what little B does is it helps you, cycle and draw a card, and also helps you restand that rearguard so you can actually attack or boost with it. In addition, in the drop zone, you can Soul Blast 2 to put this card into your soul. So then you can keep recycling this card and drawing and restanding and getting extra power. Machining Papillon, honestly one of my favorite cards from the set. 8k, grade 2, rearguard circle on place, paralyze one of your opponent's rearguards. Paralyze might not seem that threatening, but when you pair it up with cards like these that ignore intercept if your opponent's rearguard is paralyzed, then it's actually really strong. It's a desert gunner in that sense. We have Machining Tarantula, grade 2, 9k, Vanguard circle, rearguard circle on hit. Counterblast 1 to paralyze one of your opponent's rearguards. So again, the difference is that this needs to hit, but you can actually use this multiple times. But it costs Counterblast 1, so that's the difference. I do like Papillon more, but Tarantula 9k base probably better as rearguard in general. Machining Caucasus, grade 1, 6k, rearguard circle. When the attack by a machining this unit boosted hits a Vanguard, paralyze one of your opponent's rearguards. So this is just a machining based booster. Helps you paralyze for free. Again, paralyze is nice. The difference is that this needs to on hit. So maybe not necessarily help you ignore, both intercepts, but it's still good to pin down your opponent's back row maybe, and so that your opponent can't really hit numbers. We have Undefeated Mutant Avectro Zeus. So this used to be a promo. Vanguard Circle Limerick for Counterblast 2 to get +10 and paralyze one of your opponent's rearguards. Not that amazing, but I guess it's an option. And Vanguard Circle on place, retire all, including your grade 1 rearguard. So I guess that's that. Not that great, honestly, but it's a rare, so it's a budget option. Machining Red Soldier 9+3, it's great. Machining Slater, rearguard circle. When this boosts a Machining Vanguard, if all of your units, of your opponent's units are rest, soul charge 2. So you will notice that quite a few cards use the soul as a cost, and like Little B, for example. And so Machining Slater definitely can help. Gloom Flyman, Vanguard Circle, rearguard circle on place, paralyze one of your opponent's grade 0 rearguards. Really niche, but it does stop those, Saishins or Linchus and stuff like that that interact on boost. So can be useful. Machining Locust, rearguard circle on place. If all of your opponent's units are at rest, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw a card. So honestly, this is one of those filters that are really nice as well, because most times your opponent's rearguards are all going to be in rest, because they boosted or attacked with it. So not too conditional, and filtering is nice. Machining Black Soldier, front row rearguard circle. During your turn, if your Vanguard is a machining, this gets +3, so it's a 10k beater. A nice option when machining doesn't really plus that well, and when you might need to push up your units. You don't really have a lot of choices from the machinings that you plus out of your soul. Black Soldier is a great first round option, so that you can pull out as a 10k attacker, or even a 13k attacker if you use a little B. So that is basically all for Megacolony. JP players, let me know which card is your favorite so far. I definitely have a bias towards Papillon. I think it's great. On place, paralyzed 1, great synergy with everything, and it doesn't require machining names, so it's really flexible and all around great card. So I mean, machinings support really cool. Megacolony I always am a fan of. I think they got a great buff in 0. I'm definitely actually doing something now, so yeah, looking forward to your thoughts and opinions. And now moving on to global. So moving on to global, we have the Return of Ninja Master event from the 17th to the 26th. If you want a quick overview of this, go check out my pack opening video where I cover, what the triple rares do, generally speaking, what are the value cards, and open some packs, which is exciting. So remember to always open your packs, and generally speaking, I like to exchange my stuff before the end of the event period anyways, because if you forget, then it's kind of sad. But yeah. Then we have the 10th anniversary gacha on. So roll set 13 Divine Dragon progression. With each 1000 gems, you will get a bonus medal, which allows you to exchange for one of these amazing anniversary bundles. So for me, I caved as a free-to-play player. I generally don't think that this is a great campaign to roll on because it doesn't give you any actual gameplay advantages. But aesthetically speaking, these are all amazing. I caved in exchange for one Estuka one, which is the V Reboot series prequel Great Nature user, but the Tokoha one looks really amazing. The Ren one looks really amazing. The Suiko, always amazing. So if you are a fan of these characters, definitely don't miss out your chance on these. But just remember that this is not the global first year anniversary campaign, and that is next month. So if you are, especially if you're free to play, hold your horses. I know it's really tempting, but please know that there could be a lot of good stuff coming along soon. So maybe you want to save your packs and gems for that later. But if you're a big fan of the characters, definitely myself, I understand. So I went for one as well. And it's just 10 year anniversary. Just celebrate it. Be happy about it. Can't believe it's already been 10 years and it's great overall. Next, we still have the Bang Dream event. So please remember to submit those Google forms, right? So last week we had Ran Mitake with Afterglow. This week we have Aya Maruyama with Pastel Palettes, which is amazing. And we still have two more. We still have Roselia and Hello Happy World. So look forward to that. So yes, we have Minata from Roselia next week. And thank you to Raven Neverend for educating me. The blonde girl is called Kokoro, and she is the leader of Hello Happy World. So, I mean, thank you for helping me out on this. Just a quick shout out. Appreciate you all for helping me out here and there. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you do fill in the forms. You know, you just guarantee yourself some aesthetic stuff, and also a chance to get gacha tickets or one VTBO1 box, which is really exciting. So that will be all for this week. Hope you enjoyed the memes, hope you enjoyed the news, and if you liked the video, remember to give it a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to see more. With that said, that is all from me, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.